guys, here are GRWM, rules for my future kids. Credits on description.
Here are some rules that I would have for my future kids. Ignore the mismatched clips. One of them broke in my suitcase. First rule, and I stand by this, I do not care. My kids will not be having a phone until 6th grade. And they're not getting an iPad until like kindergarten. You can say that's too late, you can say whatever you want, but I do not want my kids to be raised on social media or the internet in general. That's why so many kids now are reading below their designated grade level, because shows aren't even educational anymore. They're allowed to date at any age unless they're a zoophile or something, then you gotta get up out of my house. The only time I wouldn't allow it is if the person that they're dating came from like Wiz. Oh, also, if I catch my child saying where my hug at or being nonchalant in any way, shape, or form, then they'll be forced to spend the summer with their great-grandfather in Trinidad until they learn to come correct. Because I don't know where you got that from, but it surely wasn't from me. I'm not allowing cussing of any kind in my house. If you're going to swear, do so with your friends and outside. When you're talking in my house, especially talking to me, you're gonna talk with respect. Either way, I'm gonna make sure that their vocabulary is broadened enough so that they can find other words to use or other words to express themselves. And just how I don't want for them to cuss, I'm also not gonna be swearing in front of my children. When it comes to grades, I don't want to encourage performing low at all. If they fail a class, then next time they bounce back, they do better. I get them some outside help, I study with them. So when the next report card comes and you're failing that class again, then yeah, we're gonna have problems. Nevaeh said this perfectly in her video, like encouraging your child to try their best and allowing them to fail over and over and over again is only gonna normalize a low performance. Why would I do that? My kids will 100% be getting an allowance, and when they're younger, I'm gonna give them a piggy bank so that they can start saving at a young age. It's never too early to learn how to save. The younger you start, the better you will be at making financial decisions. I always say that I want my kids to do better than me. Like, one of many things is I want them to be better when it comes to spending. Like, I don't know why so many of these videos say that they're not going to give their child an allowance. It's good for them to know the value of $1. It's good for them to go into a store and be like, okay, this is my budget. What can I afford? What do I want? What do I need? I'm not going to be strict about piercings at all. Tats, on the other hand, you're going to have to wait until you're 18. If you come to me at 12 talking about you want a tat, I'm going to tell you to get out of my face. Anyway, we are finished. Deuces, deuces, and deuces.
Get ready with me while I tell you rules for my future kids. You're not getting a phone until you move out of the house and can pay for it yourself, because I don't want to pay for something that you're going to use and just waste your entire life on. All of my kids have to be asleep by 7:30 no matter what age you are. You can hang out with one friend a week, but it has to be at our house, and it can only be for a duration of 3 hours because we have other stuff to do in life and it's not just with your friends. If you say one curse word ever, you're kicked out of my house for a week. And you must never go to a party. Never even step near a boy until you're out of college and graduated out of my house. You can never eat any sort of candy or dessert no matter where or what the occasion is. If your grade ever goes below 99s in any of your classes at school, you're done hanging out with your friends for 3 years. Breakfast is at 8, lunch is at 12, and dinner's at 6. If you're not there for any of those times, you're grounded for 4 months. As a parent that's going to have 12 kids, I don't believe in good parents, and I don't want to be one either. And some of these parents are just so ridiculously kind to their kids, I don't understand it.
Rules I'll be giving my future kids. They are not getting a phone until they are 13, because that's what happened with me. And I mean, I was really jealous of everybody who had a phone, but I think that's just too early to have a phone. But they will get an iPad, and hopefully they don't become an iPad kid. I think they'll get an iPad maybe when they're like 11, 10, I don't know. They'll also have an hour screen time because they need to go play outside. Go play outside for the rest of the day, then you get an hour on your screen, you know? That's what I had, so I'm not gonna be strict on curfew, but I would say maybe like 11 p.m. for when they have to be home. But if they like text me and they're like, hey, I'm gonna stay on a little bit longer, I'll be like, fine, that's okay, I don't care. And same with location, I don't care about location. I also will not ground my kid. I think they'll just have a talk. Like, I'm not gonna like take away their phone or take away that. If they did something bad, I'm just gonna be like, hey, let's work this out. Okay, of course when they're younger they will have a bedtime, like kind of strict, but then it's like when they get older, like maybe like around middle school, I'm gonna be like, yeah, just go to bed 9 p.m, 10 p.m, I don't care.
Rules for my future kids. Number 1, if they even want to step a foot in Sephora or Mecca when they're 10, they're out. No, like there's the door. Out. I'm disowning you. I'm kidding, that's a joke. You don't need skincare and makeup when you were 10. The youngest you can go to Sephora or Mecca is when you're 12. Next, you get a phone when you start high school. I got a phone when I started high school. I was almost 12, I think. And I just think that's pretty reasonable. Like, you don't need a phone before that. In terms of getting like social media, I'd say like 12. I think that's pretty reasonable because ain't no way you're having TikTok when you're 9. Or Instagram, like, no. Next, you can have sleepovers at any age as long as I know the parents, because like I just think that's fair. Next thing, I'm not going to be a strict parent because that's just like really annoying and just ill. But I'm also not going to be too much of a chill parent. I don't want to be too chill. I will set rules and I will have boundaries. Another thing is you are allowed mental health days off of school. I just think that's really important. Sometimes taking days off for your mental health is even more important than taking days off when you're sick. But you also have to have a good attendance because I do want you to learn, you know, like another rule, you can eat whatever you want. I'm not going to force you to eat anything. Eat what makes you happy. But when my kids are growing up, I'll make them eat more healthy because like I just want them to eat healthy. You know, I want my kids to be healthy. Another thing, you can wear whatever you want. Like if you want to rock up to the shops in a Grinch onesie, do it. I'm not stopping you. Wear whatever you want. If it makes you happy, then it makes me happy. Another rule, I want you to play sports as a kid. I just think it's really important to have a hobby, you know. Last thing, we're gonna celebrate your accomplishments because like why wouldn't we? I want to show you that I'm proud of you and that I'm proud to be your mum. Anyways, those are just my rules. Let me know if you agree with my rules.
Hey guys, get ready with me while I talk about my rules for my future kids. Okay, the first one isn't going to be like relatable at all, but my kids will play baseball or softball. It's just because I was raised in a baseball softball family and I want my kids to play that until they can tell me they don't want to play. Okay, I don't want my kids to have a phone until 13, but I feel like once I have kids that rule will change and I'll probably lower the age. But right now, I don't think it's necessary to have one until 13. Okay, for sleepovers, I have to meet the other kid's parent. Just because I've heard so many stories and like, I don't know, it scares me. But like once my kid starts going into high school, then I'll probably be more chill about it. Okay, this rule might be a little controversial, but every Sunday we're gonna be going to church. And I feel like Sundays should be spent with family, so no friends on Sundays. Okay, the next rule I have is that I will allow my kids to go to parties, but I will not provide alcohol or keep alcohol in my house. My kids will not be drinking alcohol in my house, but I'm fine with them going to parties and not telling me what they're doing. Just because I want them to be safe and I'd rather pick them up than them sneak out and do something stupid. Okay, this next one really isn't a rule, it's just something I'm gonna do as a parent. I'm going to let my kids have privacy because I feel like I have no privacy. Like for one, I'm not gonna go through their phone or like go through any of their stuff because it's their stuff and I'm gonna respect that. Okay, next rule is if my kids cuss at me, I will freaking kick their butt. I don't care if you like cuss with your friends or where I can't hear it, but like I just don't want to hear cussing in my house. Okay, I'm really big on this, but absolutely no smoking. If I catch you smoking, like I don't even know what I'll do. And I have my reasons on why this one's so big, but there will be no smoking at all. Another one people probably won't agree with me on is no C's and D's. Just because if you're struggling in a class, I'm just gonna like get you all the help you can get. So there really should be no reason you're getting C's or D's. I mean, unless it's chemistry, but other than that, like no. Alright guys, bye. Thanks for watching today's Get Ready With Me.
Ready with me saying some future rules that I'll have for my kids. Okay, first big one is we're gonna be talking about the devices. So I'm gonna let my kid have like an iPad at like age 4. Then they can like get a phone once they turn like 9 or something. Because I was on my phone at the age of 7 years old. Social media, TikTok in 2nd grade. So I started this whole social media thing very early. But I want my child to be better than I was. So it's gonna delay it a couple years. Next rule I have is that they can't like stay out past like 7, depending on how old they are. If you're like 12 to 14, deadline is like 8 o'clock. If you're like 16, 18, stay out until like 10, 11. And if you're like to 9, you're not gonna be staying out that long. You have school in the morning. You're still doing multiplication and division. You're not gonna be out late. The next rule that I have for my kids will not be getting like makeup. You're at least like 10 to 11. I don't want them to grow up feeling like they need makeup on their face to feel beautiful. Like simple makeup once you're like 10 to 11. Obviously as you get older you can get like more like concealer, blush and all that. The other rule is I don't care who you have over for a sleepover. You cannot bring a boy over this house until you're like 15 years old.
And you can only bring a boy if they're gay or something. And y'all keep in mind, if you guys don't agree with this rule, this is my rule, so I don't really care if you don't agree, you don't have to. I change as I get older because literally I'm still very young. These might get stricter, but hopefully not, because I want to be a fun person. For social media, you're not gonna get it until you're like 9. I was on social media way too early. That's the reason that I am like this now. I don't mind if you have a sleepover at your friend's house or whatever, but I need to meet their parent before you go over there and end up on ID Network getting. Another thing, I don't care what you wear. You will not be wearing crop tops and all that. Daughters of Christ will try to dress modest, our temples, and we need to respect that. So your friends can come over here as long as they're nice though. I want my child to feel like she can come and talk to me about whatever, to like going out like to the mall or something, or shopping, letting you walk alone until you're at least like 10, 11. I want you to get kidnapped, and you must like text me like every hour just so I know that you're okay. And my child will be having chores, like awards, like for the chores basically. Do 5 chores. I'll take you shopping or something. I want them to feel like they're spoiled or they can just get whatever without doing any work. Anyways, if you guys want a part 3, let me know. Mention that this is a part 2 video. If you guys want a part 3, let me know in the comments. I love you guys so much. Spread the gospel. Bye, y'all.
I hope y'all enjoyed. I will be taking influencer recommendations. Bye.